everyone, it's Kylie Bertucci, Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia, here with you. Surprise! You didn't expect me today. You may be seeing a little bit more of this now that things are changing very rapidly in Australia. So I wanted to jump on. I'm just going to make sure that we're all live and happy on YouTube and I'm not just talking to myself, which I can very easily do. Just ask Bruno. He's like, you could talk to the wall. So let's just see here, and then I can see all of your beautiful comments as well when you jump on. If you can't see the live comments or you can't comment, it's because you need to be logged in to YouTube. So just make sure you're logged in and then you'll see it all come up along the side. Hello, Wendy. Good. We're all happy and everyone's here. Rachel, hello. Good to see you. So in Australia, we have just had an announcement. If you have not seen that, it was pretty much like last night. There was a new announcement about non-essential activities, which basically does change a lot here in Australia. So a lot of our retail shops are shutting, and pubs and all of those sort of things. And it's basically going to take about 48 hours or so to do that here in Australia. I think that's what the government basically has given time to do. Hello, wow, there's a lot here. Good to see you all. So we don't know what that means in terms of Stampin' Up in Australia. At this point in time, there is some information that I can give you that things are being packed and the warehouse is open. It's business as usual for now. We don't know what is next. So I thought I'd jump on and just give a little bit of advice of what you could do, because I feel like the window is closing. I feel like our chance to get those little craft essential supplies, we consider it essential. You know, the government may not, but I do. I want my craft supplies. So I'm going to be doing an order this morning for my essentials. What are my essentials that I need? So say if I'm in a situation where I'm going to be at home for, say, 2 weeks, or maybe even a month, or maybe even 2 months, because we just don't know. Everything is up in the air. What would I like to have? Well, what I think, or I deem essential for my card making, I'm very happy with my stamp supply. As you can see, it's looking very happy right now. Sorry, everyone. Bruno's mum just tried to call me. Bruno, ring your mum. She's so cute. I told her, stay at home. Hopefully you can still see me okay. So my essential items, or things that I deem essential for me, are basically, I'm just going to tap there because the colour looks a bit funny. Of course, number one on Bruno's list, dimensionals. So yes, that's correct, Rachel. Rachel was on the ball even before I lifted them. Well done. So we only have this much. We definitely need more of those. So we're doing that. The other thing that we deem essential is, for me, very essential, Tombow glue. So this is all I have, and I'm a little concerned. It does have 2 layers, but I think, you know what, if it's going to be 2 months, I've got to think worst case scenario, 2 months, do I have enough glue? So that's the other thing that I'm going to be putting on my essential item list, so that I can actually craft and send cards all around the world, because we have a bit more time to be able to do that. How awesome. And please send them to us. We would be so happy to receive your cards. People are already messaging me saying, can we get your address? Oh my goodness, I would love that. And we'll do like a random act of kindness video that's just a standalone. And the other thing that I think is a really essential item too is envelopes. Our Stampin' Up envelopes are like no other. So that's a definite good one. And if you don't have any designer series paper, that is a fantastic way of loving and chopping it. We'll do a bit of love it, chop it, and get that all organized. And one thing about love it, chop it is it's great to have all the paper, but then you want to make sure that you have the cardstock to go with it. So I'm going to be adding some more cardstock. I've got 3 of each pack here, and I've got a little bit below my desk that it's already pre-cut, but I definitely want to add some more Whisper White and probably a few of my favorite colors just in case. And also for my customers, some of them may not be in the position right now to sort of get the cardstock, or maybe they're not organized. So I wanted to make sure that I have some for others as well. So that worst case scenario, they're like, oh my goodness, I didn't get enough glue. I didn't get enough cardstock, and now it's been weeks and I did not think it would go this long. And yeah, we'll all be like, yeah, we didn't either. We're thinking, oh yeah, just a couple of weeks. Next minute, it's like a month. We're still inside. So that is my goal. The other thing that I want to do, and I think is a really exciting thing to get, is kits. And we have some fantastic kits. Now, kits are brilliant because they enable you to have a lot of fun, and everything you need is in here. So even some of you may be watching and you're in Australia and you're thinking, what am I going to do with these kids at home? Maybe they're teenagers, you know, maybe you just need your time out and you're in Australia. This is a perfect thing to get for those that maybe are new to stamping. You're not sure what projects are going to be good for you while you are inside doing non-essential activities. So this is a really, really great thing for those that want to give it a try or want to keep your teenagers occupied. And I'm telling you, boys love this as well. So don't just assume that this is for the girls. You know, your boys will love being creative and love being able to colour or to take part in something. And even as a project, like a lot of families are saying, you know, oh my goodness, what am I going to do with my kids? Well, get them to think of others. This is a perfect time to get them creating and sending it maybe to nursing homes or to nurses or doctors. You could be sending it to so many people who need encouragement at this time when they're going through some of the most difficult situations that we can't even possibly imagine. Like the hospitals, I am just praying for them right now because it would be so challenging. My sister's a nurse and I'm just thinking of her constantly, how it's going to change for her in the hospital. So, oh, that's nice that you caught me live, Kelly. Good to see you. So if you have a look at the kits on page, where are they? Right at the back. So page 202 and 203 of the annual catalogue, there's 3 beautiful kits here. I'm going to be getting one of each of them. And the top one is quite masculine and quite geometric. Look, it has planes and you can see it here. And I think if you have like teenage boys or young boys, this one is a really good one because, you know, it's got the planes and this building here. Look, it's a really nice, even the palm trees, even hot air balloons. Like, it's not too feminine. There's no real embellishments on there. So if you have young boys that you want to keep preoccupied, you can say, look at these graphic cards that you can make. Jessie and I used to do little kids craft classes at the Melbourne show. And every year we would have this young boy come up. He would save all of his money just to make Mario Brothers punch art with us. He loved it. And he said, his mum said to us, all year he just saves his money so that he can come and do as many punch art with you girls as he can. And he said that it was his most favourite thing, more than any of the rides, more than anything else. So don't limit your young men in your house too. They need to be preoccupied, and maybe art and colouring, and it's known, research has said it definitely helps you with stress levels. So doing something like a project like that with your kiddies is a really, really great thing to do. So those kits are perfect for that. If you don't have any other Stampin' Up supplies, then the kits are definitely a go. So page 202. Well, even if you just go on the Stampin' Up website, I'm pretty sure it has a section there that says kits, so that you can just, I'll actually have a look there and see what it's listed under so that you can look. But yeah, basically, like at the moment, it's 11:06 in the morning here in Australia. The announcement is saying that all non-essential activities have to close by 12 p.m. So we don't know what that means. Does that mean that Stampin' Up is non-essential? We don't know. At this point in time, though, it's definitely still packing and running here in Australia. So I feel like this is just a window of opportunity. Now, it might still continue after 12 p.m., but it may even be like a short time. Because is stamping essential according to the government? Probably not. But again, I don't know for sure. But I'm just jumping on here to preempt it and say, have you got what you need? I know you've been stockpiling your toilet paper. I know you've been stockpiling your rice. But, you know, we don't want to be eating all day. We've got to do something else with our time that isn't going to make us put on 10 kilos or 10 pounds. Crafting is probably a really good idea. It's a lot less, it's going to create a lot less damage and do a lot more good for everyone. So I'm just going to my shop now. So if I click on, I went to KylieBatucci.com and there's a little button that says shop. And then when you go to shop, yes, it's under kits. It's on the left-hand side. There's like a, actually I'll put you on the screen so that I can show you. But for those of you that already have products, then, you know, no problem at all. You can just get the essential items like the glue, dimensionals, cardstock. You might want to do some love it, chop it, so maybe some paper. But just think in terms of worst case scenario, what would I be doing craft-wise if it was, say, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 1.5 months, 2 months? We don't know. I wish I had more to tell you, but we just don't know. No one knows. That's the biggest, I think that's what is making us so uncertain, is we're like, someone just tell us, please. Tell us what you know. We don't know. So this is my shop here. So you'll see my little name up in the corner here. And you can just scroll down and you can go to kits. So when you click on kits, you can say all inclusive. You can have project kits or medleys. But if you go to the all inclusive kits, if you have never stamped before, this is the perfect place for you to go to get an all inclusive kit. And this is perfect for your young ones to give them a project to do. Then you've also got these ones here that do require a stamp set, but these ones are gorgeous. I've done this one here and it's so pretty. And then that's one of our favorite stamp sets that goes with that. That's the Seriously the Best stamp set. Yes, seriously the best. So you just need to get that stamp set to go with that. I think it tells you what stamp set. It's a shame it didn't pop up here. But there's a few other kits, but the all-inclusive is perfect if you have never stamped before, or if you're wanting to get something for your kids to do to keep them preoccupied. Like this will take them a couple of days. But yeah, you can give them little bits and pieces to do different projects, and it may even spark an interest in colouring, which would be really awesome. So that is my update. It is now 11:09. I am going to go place my essentials items order. And ultimately, if it does come to the case that Stampin' Up are told, no, sorry, you can't fill those orders, don't be stressed. Stampin' Up will always look after their customers and always look after their demonstrators. I've heard some demonstrators saying things like, I don't know what's going to happen. I know Stampin' Up will look after us. They'll do everything they can in their power to make sure that they look after us. And it's just such a beautiful company with full of heart and kindness. So they will do absolutely everything they possibly can. And the other thing is there's still the joining special right now. So if you do a list and it sort of goes over $169, well, definitely think about that joining offer too, because it may be the case that this is the last day to get that joining offer. We don't know. It may be, it may not. But if you've been thinking about it, just do it. Just jump in there and do it. And yeah, because otherwise it might get to 12 o'clock or in the next couple of days, or if they get overwhelmed with orders, then you may miss out. So that's my top tips for you. Another couple of things that I've noticed online, and I shared this with my VIP group, just to keep in mind, is that we want to be really mindful what we're sharing with one another, that we know the source, where it's coming from in terms of this coronavirus. And a lot of times, like I've noticed just in the last couple of days, already it's getting a bit crazy on Facebook messengers with things that are being sent and resent. Like I think for me, I've probably had 20 of the same message about the gas pump, touching the gas pump. You know, it's very kind of you all. It's very sweet of you all. But at a time where we're going to be inside and we're going to be having more time for social media, please just keep in mind what you're forwarding, unless it's coming from a source that you can trust and a source that you know. My auntie works for Red Cross, and she keeps saying to me, go to the proper channels. Go to the government websites or to World Health Organization. They have some fantastic flyers on there. One of the things on the World Health Organization that they keep saying is don't do hyperboles. And hyperboles are when you exaggerate a situation bigger than what it is. So just making sure that we find ways to do things that are productive. Also online, you might find that people, you might post something and people don't respond in a way that you expect them to. Maybe they have like an almost mini meltdown and you're just like, whoa, I just was asking this question, and then you escalate. Just keep in mind that people's emotions are super heightened right now. People are unsure, people are scared, people have fear. And it's up to us as a community to look after each other. So if you see that, feel free to delete your comment so that it doesn't escalate. Feel free to turn off comments so that it doesn't escalate. And feel free to message that person and say, are you okay? We've been practicing this for a long time now, but this is the time we need to do it more than ever before. Are you okay? Do you want a phone call? Can I get in touch with you? People are missing out on that social contact. They're escalating because they're watching the news. So please just be really kind to one another and be mindful that people are not going to respond the way they maybe usually respond, because there's a lot of changes daily. And with changes, it creates imbalance. And with imbalance, it creates maybe responses that we don't expect. So just be really kind. Think about what you're sending to each other, and just whether it's really worthwhile. Like at the end of the day, all of us have a responsibility to go to the World Health Organization or to go to our local government information. We don't need to be spreading like pictures around the internet that we don't know where they're coming from, because some of them are ridiculous, like genuinely ridiculous. It's like, what doctor where? Like, what video from where? Like, it's just crazy. So please do your part and spread the word. If someone sends you something, like, what was the one that, don't open the virus Pope dancing video. I don't need to know this right now. Do not forward those things. And if someone does forward those things, say to them, thank you so much for thinking of me, but please don't forward these things, because they're not good. They're not good to forward, okay? Yes, go spend your time building people up and ringing your friends and family and showing them love and giving them something encouraging and something that's positive, not this crazy stuff that's getting sent around. Because honestly, we end up with about 50 of them. And I love to contact people, and I'd much rather someone message me and say, how are you, Kylie? How are you? Please feel free to do that, rather than sending me this like meme with flowers. I virtually love you. Just tell me you love me. Just tell me in a message that you love me. Thank you. Now, someone said about Sean Douglas Bruno card. How cool was that, by the way? And I love that family. They are just such beautiful, beautiful, salt of the earth, gorgeous people. And, you know, that really showed me what we need to be like. That is the perfect example of what we need to be doing right now. Get your kids, get them crafting, get them busy. Come together as a family and have one-on-one time. We could all get stuck on our phones, which, you know, it's fine to have a little bit of that, but don't neglect your family. This is a really beautiful time to come together, and it's during a time where, you know, your children need that more than ever because they're probably feeling scared and vulnerable as well. So just, you know, really come together and think about how you can reach out to ones. We've been calling friends in Canada and all around the world and saying, how are you? Like, what's happening? What's the situation in your country? We're all going through this together, and we can make a big difference to one another if we just let people know that we're thinking of them and that we're there for them and that we're a community. So really look out for each other. I'll put up the links for the Random Act of Kindness group because that's going to help us to craft and share and do really positive things. Yes, that's right. I love that, Dina. She said, we need to be conscious of what we say and do, especially with so many people stressed. Let's not feed into volatile postings. Absolutely. And, you know, I've said to someone last night, I saw a post and I was like, oh, it's starting to look a bit yucky. And so I didn't contribute to it at all. I picked up the phone and I rang my team member and said, are you okay? How can we, you know, I noticed that the post didn't go the way that you expected it to. Well, let's just talk about it together. And she goes, you know what, from now on, I'm just going to talk to you. And I said, absolutely, just PM me, you know, just message me. You don't have to go on groups. So just be very, very, very mindful of groups and very mindful of where they're heading and where the comments are going. Because if it's not encouraging, and if you see someone say a nice comment or they're trying to shift it in a good way, you know, that's really, really nice. And you could PM them and say, thank you so much for trying to lift that post up. But the best possible thing you can do is just not even contribute to it. If there's silence, where there's fuel, there's fire. So if you come in and you're like, pouring fuel on top, don't do it. Walk away. Bruno's always like, walk away, Kylie, walk away. Because I'm like, and I'm ready to get my keyboard and go, whoa. Don't feed into it. Now is not the time. Yes, now is the time to be positive, to show love, to give genuine messages to one another, not these forwards. Just say, hey, I was thinking of you. Thank you for all you do with your videos. Keep them up. Or you could say, I noticed your card. Like, go on Pinterest. There's so many beautiful, on Instagram, there's so many beautiful Stampin' Up cards. If you look at the hashtag Stampin' Up and you go through all of the cards on Instagram, and some of them have no comments on them. And I'm like, where is everyone? They could be doing something really productive here and commenting on all these cards and encouraging other people and their creativity. And all I did was say to one card, wow, I love your card. It's so beautiful. They messaged me and they're like, you have no idea how much that meant to me. I'm a new Stampin' Up person. I've just joined as a demonstrator. And for you to comment on my card has just meant the world to me. Go build people up. And do some really nice things. No, honestly, Donna Jo, it's not a problem to post problems. Like, we need to vent, but it's going to be one of those things that it's probably going to be better to pick up the phone and call our friends one-on-one. This is the time to don't rely on social media to give you that buzz that you need, or to create a worthwhile conversation, because people are just not in that mindset to be able to have a logical conversation right now. So just think twice. Go, should I post this? Will this create, two-sided conversations that really don't need to happen right now and is all hearsay and is not going to actually get anywhere? So yeah, just call each other, say, hey, I'm thinking of you. And usually when you're feeling a bit down or you're feeling a bit vulnerable, the best thing you can do is go and build someone else up, and you feel so much better. So go do that. Anyway, love you lots. I better go place my order before it hits 12 or I'm going to miss out on my order. I will be here very soon, and I'm sure we'll do something really cool. I just got the Zoom video options, so I will be offering new things, new classes where we can all get together and we can all connect with one another. And yes, definitely try the scrappy strip technique, because it's really gone crazy. We won't use the usual word because right now it's not appropriate. No, not in the current climate that we're experiencing. But yes, definitely look at those kits. If you haven't done stamping ever before or card making, perfect option for you and your children. So check that out. If you live in Australia, you can order with me, but if you're not in Australia, you can order with another demonstrator while you can. We don't know what's happening, but it's pretty crazy right now. So maybe just pop in your little order, then you know it's done and you're happy and you're sorted. You know you're going to use it anyway. But yes, keep that in mind, and then that will be a nice little boost for our beautiful Douglas family too, and for demonstrators around the world, because yeah, they're all probably concerned and worried too. So big hugs to you all. Go look after your local demonstrator and go and talk to them and get your essential supplies, and we will be in touch very soon. Mwah! Love you all. Thanks for all your beautiful comments. Bye. Take care. Love you all. Look after yourselves and be safe, and remember, build each other up with personal messages. None of this forward stuff, okay? Bye. Love you.